What if I told you that the most common recommendation for poor leg circulation after 60 could actually be slowing down your recovery? Yes, even if you follow it daily, faithfully, and with the best intentions. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 5 adults over 70 has peripheral artery disease, and most don't know it until the symptoms become serious. But here's what no one tells you. Poor circulation doesn't always show up as a dramatic warning sign. It shows up as cold feet in the evening, as swelling that's better in the morning and worse by night, as that dull, heavy pull in your legs that slows you down, the one you've long written off as just normal aging. You've done what you were told. Walk more. Elevate your legs. Maybe wear compression socks. And still, your feet are cold. The swelling is still there. The stairs feel a little harder every month. That is not your failure. It is not a sign that you're not trying hard enough. It's a missing piece, one that most movement advice for people over 60 ignores completely, because walking is movement. But movement alone is not circulation. There is a built-in pumping system in your legs that your body depends on to push blood back up toward your heart against gravity. And normal walking doesn't activate it adequately. The research is clear on this. This video is not here to scare you. It's here to give you the exact tools to bring that system back to life. Exercise 5. The seated ankle alphabet. Most people assume that improving circulation requires standing up, walking, or some form of cardio. But here's what no one tells you. Some of the most powerful circulation work happens while you are completely seated. Your ankles are the gateway to your entire lower leg vascular system. Every small movement at the ankle joint activates the surrounding muscles, and those muscles squeeze the deep veins that carry blood back toward your heart. When the ankle stops moving regularly, that gateway closes, blood stagnates, swelling builds from the ground up. Research in vascular rehabilitation consistently shows that targeted ankle mobility exercises, even without any standing or walking, can measurably reduce lower leg swelling in older adults, and this can happen within just a few weeks of regular practice. Here's how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet slightly off the floor. Using your right foot, trace each letter of the alphabet in the air, large, controlled movements, then switch to your left foot. One full round takes less than 3 minutes. The critical point: make large, deliberate shapes. Small, lazy movements won't engage the muscle fibers deeply enough to activate the pump. Patricia is 67 years old. Every morning, putting on her shoes had become a struggle, her ankles so swollen that she could barely close the laces. She started doing the ankle alphabet twice a day, once at breakfast and once while watching television. After 3 weeks, her morning swelling had reduced so much that she had stopped noticing it altogether. Do this after meals, while watching television, or first thing in the morning before getting out of bed. The next exercise targets something higher up the chain, and it directly addresses why so many seniors feel unsteady when climbing stairs. Exercise 4. The supine heel slide. This movement looks almost too simple. You lie on the floor and slide one heel at a time toward your body. That's it. And yet this is one of the only exercises that simultaneously activates the deep veins of the thigh and the lower leg, creating a full-length pumping effect from ankle to hip. Here's what no one tells you. When your thigh muscles contract and release in a slow, controlled rhythm, they compress the femoral vein, the major blood highway running through your upper leg. Most seniors never fully activate this vein during daily movement because their steps are too short and too gentle to create meaningful compression. Research in movement therapy for older adults consistently shows that supine leg exercises performed at a controlled tempo improve femoral circulation, reduce perceived leg fatigue, and positively influence walking steadiness, all without any joint stress whatsoever. Lie flat on your back, with both legs extended. Slowly slide your right heel toward your body, bending the knee. Hold at the top for 2 seconds. Slide slowly back. 12 repetitions per leg. The critical point: never rush the return. The slow extension downward is where most of the vascular compression occurs. Werner is 72 years old and worked his entire life as a tradesman, physically active, rarely ill. But since retiring, he described his legs as feeling like concrete by early afternoon. He began doing the supine heel slide every morning on a yoga mat in his living room. After 6 weeks, he noticed the heaviness wasn't setting in until after dinner. Within 3 months, it had largely disappeared. What comes next is genuinely surprising because it connects two things most people would never think to link. Exercise 3. The standing figure 4 hold, balance and circulation are more deeply connected than most people realize. And this exercise sits at the exact intersection of both. When you hold a standing figure 4 position, one ankle resting across the opposite knee, you create sustained isometric contraction in the glutes, hip stabilizers, and deep calf muscles simultaneously. Isometric contractions, where muscles tense without movement, have been shown to generate higher venous return than many dynamic exercises in older adults. Research in applied sports physiology consistently shows that isometric lower body exercises, performed regularly, can lower resting blood pressure while improving peripheral blood flow in adults over 60 more effectively than moderate-intensity walking. A finding that surprises most people. Stand behind a chair. Hold it lightly for support. Place your right ankle across your left knee. Hold for 30 seconds. Breathe normally. Switch sides. As you grow stronger, reduce your grip on the chair. Eventually, hover your fingertips just above the surface, ready to catch yourself, but not relying on it. This builds the small, stabilizing muscles around your ankle and hip, the exact muscles that prevent falls, while simultaneously driving circulation through sustained compression. Eleanor is 74 years old. After a minor stumble on the pavement 2 years ago, she had begun avoiding stairs and skipping her daily walks, afraid it might happen again. Her balance felt unreliable. She added the figure 4 hold to her morning routine every day after getting up. After 8 weeks, her physical therapist noted a clear improvement in her single leg stability at a routine checkup. And Eleanor is back to walking outside every day. Now we're entering the top 2. And number 2 is the one that surprises people most. Exercise 2. Supine leg press against resistance. This exercise is used in vascular rehabilitation wards following leg surgery in hospitals across Northern Europe. And it is almost completely unknown outside of clinical settings. You lie on your back and press both feet against a firm resistance, a folded blanket against a wall, a resistance band anchored at foot height, or a band looped around the base of a door. You press slowly. Hold at full extension for 3 seconds. What makes this exercise clinically significant? The combination of full leg extension with sustained resistance creates a pressure gradient that runs the entire length of the leg, from the deep plantar veins in the foot all the way to the femoral vein at the hip. No standing exercise replicates this full-length effect. Vascular rehabilitation research consistently shows that supine resistance leg press, performed regularly, increases peripheral blood flow, reduces nocturnal leg cramping, and can measurably improve sleep quality in older adults, because blood that previously pooled in the evening no longer causes discomfort. Lie flat. Press both feet against your resistance surface. Extend slowly over 4 seconds. Hold for 3 seconds. Release over 4 seconds. Thomas is 69 years old and had lived with restless leg syndrome for 6 years. The same uncomfortable tingling every evening that kept him from falling asleep. 10 repetitions, twice daily. He began doing the supine leg press each evening before bed, using a resistance band attached to his bedroom door. Within 3 weeks, he was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. And now, number 1. Exercise 1. The slow calf raise with 5-second peak hold. This is the exercise that vascular surgeons, physical therapists, and rehabilitation specialists around the world return to again and again. Not because it is complicated, but because nothing else drives blood out of the lower leg quite like it. When you rise onto the balls of your feet and hold at the top, your calf muscles squeeze the deep veins of the lower leg with enough force to push blood upward against gravity. That sustained squeeze, the hold, is everything. It is what separates this exercise from a casual heel raise, and it is what activates the venous valves in sequence, creating a wave of upward pressure through the entire lower leg. Here's what no one tells you. Research in vascular rehabilitation consistently shows that an extended hold at peak calf contraction drives significantly greater venous return than a quick up and down movement. The same muscle, the same exercise, but a far greater effect simply from holding longer. And that is exactly why this movement is treated as a cornerstone exercise in vascular rehabilitation protocols worldwide, not as a supplement, but as a foundation. Stand behind a chair or countertop, feet hip-width apart. Rise slowly, 3 seconds up. Hold at the top for a full 5 seconds. Feel the contraction. Lower slowly, 3 seconds down. Never drop. Never bounce. Start with 8 repetitions and build toward 20 over several weeks. The magic is not in the height. It is in the hold. Those 5 seconds are the moment your second heart is working at full capacity. James is 77 years old. A short walk to the local bakery, less than 400 meters, had become a daily ordeal. He had to stop twice along the way, calf pain forcing him to rest against a wall. His son showed him this exercise, which he had found in a rehabilitation guide. James did it twice a day, mornings in the kitchen, evenings in front of the television. After 6 weeks, he walked to the bakery without stopping once. After 3 months, his family doctor noted a measurable improvement in his ankle brachial index at a routine checkup, a value that directly measures blood flow to the legs. This exercise requires no equipment. It places no stress on your joints, and it works at any age, at any fitness level. The only requirement is consistency. Your legs are not finished. Your circulation is not fixed. It responds to the right signal, delivered at the right intensity, held for the right amount of time. These 5 movements give your body exactly that.